Good afternoon and welcome to the Edinburgh Stadium for the first game of 2023 here in Alloa as they take on FC Edinburgh. I'm Kieran Mooney and as ever joined by Lewis Russell. Lewis, how are we doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Coming off a nice 3-0 win with the Supporters Club last night, so I'm flying, and hopefully Alloa's game will be as straightforward.
Yeah, we'll take all the momentum we can get, even if it's tapping into the supporters 11. Don't mind that at all. The first team, the senior team, they're coming off the back of a victory as well, fresh off of their 2-1 win down at Palmerston against Queen of the South last week. That was a big victory, wasn't it? And a good comeback and late goal from Ross McKeever to take all 3 points.
Yeah, it was. It's a venue we struggled at early in the season, but again it was Ross McKeever who popped up in the final minutes to score, so they must hate the sight of him. But again, 60 minutes or so for us to really get into the game. But once we got that equaliser through Connor Salmon, I think we looked really good.
Yeah, it's big for Connor Salmon to get back on the score sheet. It was 10 games without a goal. He scores last week, it takes his tally up to 11 for the season. Big confidence boost for him because in the last 30 minutes he was unplayable.
Back to what he was doing so well at the beginning of the season. And that's what he does, he forces mistakes from defenders, and he's going to need to do that today because it's a good backline for FC Edinburgh.
Yeah, we look at the FC Edinburgh team and in just a second they've sit in second place, 6 points ahead of Alloa, so it's a really massive game for both sides. You talk about the defensive options, Liam Fontaine, James Cragen have impressed, former Wasp Callum Crane, but it's that forward line, Ryan Shanley, Danny Handling, John Robertson just recently won the Player of the Month award. It's a real potent attack, which we know all too well.
Yeah, he has been excellent, and that's it. The first game here, he brought FC Edinburgh back into the game, and obviously scored another vital goal there. Although in the last turnaround, I think Shanley was probably the man who took the plaudits. So.
Yeah, I know the manager won't say this, and the players probably won't say this publicly, but is there a little bit of a revenge mission today, to dust off any of the bad memories from that 4-3 game? Because there's no doubt we had a bit of a hangover from that game. It lingered. Yeah. It'd be good to rid those demons today.
There can't be many worse feelings in football. It would be 3-0 up after 20 minutes and it surrendered to a 4-3 loss in the end. But you're saying that, Keir, I would quite happily take a 0-0 a la Kelty Hearts where there's no chances, just to avoid that feeling again.
We'd like a little bit more goalmouth action. It's hard enough to fill 90 minutes on the commentary plus another hour on the podcast if there's not a single shot on target. So I'm hoping for some excitement in the game today as we await the teams. The rain seems to be going off, but it's kind of floating between wild weather and not so bad weather. And if it's anything like last Saturday, that was some real tricky elements for the Alloa team.
Certainly at the beginning of the game, the rain coming sideways, it was horrible. And we had the wind advantage in the first half. I think it's wind pretty much going towards the railway end, so I'll be interested to see who wins kickoff and who decides when they want to kick down to the first half.
Here comes the Alloa team led by captain Scott Taggart. Just one change to the team that beat Queen of the South last Saturday. Bradley Rodden drops out and in comes Adam King. There is a new addition onto the bench. Willie Muir has departed the club, the backup goalkeeper, and he's replaced by a new signing from East Fife, Scott Gallagher, a familiar face to Alloa fans having played for the club under Jack Ross before. So a change that is probably not going to affect us too much today, but nice to see Gal back in the Alloa squad. In terms of Edinburgh, those three do play. Shanley, Handling, Robertson all start. Kyle Jacobs, fresh off of his permanent deal, starts as well. Couple of ex-Wasps in there, in Innes Murray and Callum Crane, but it's a very kind of stretch bench for FC Edinburgh. 3 departures from Hibs on loan this week, so they are looking a little bit threadbare as Stefan Skugel gets us kick-started any second now. 6 points between the sides. Alloa 5th, FC Edinburgh 2nd. We'll see what it is come 4:45.
Just as you've said that, Keir, you think that this, we will probably have 1 or 2 signings yet, but it's going to be a big window for FC Edinburgh.
I think,
yeah, if they're going to keep to their stated claims of making a title challenge, it's going to be interesting.
Salmon puts the ball across, and Alloa are almost off to a perfect start. It's King at the back post, and somehow he's put that one wide. Fantastic ball in to the back post there from Connor Salmon. He just can't direct it on target.
He's a player that's not had a massive run of games here at Alloa King, but whenever he comes in, I think it's positive. He's starting to right back today where he came on against Queen of the South. It does give Kevin Colley that chance to play behind the striker. It's looked bright so far. We've started how we left off at Queen of the South.
Has that chance maybe come a little bit too early?
Maybe.
He's not had a touches of the ball or anything, but it's still a big opportunity. But bright from Connor Salmon, who's flicked it into not a bad area again. Here's Daniel Church in his new role. Switches it out to Luke Strachan. No doubt touch upon him a little bit later. Great ball in from Strachan. It's come off of the Edinburgh player and off the bar. And then McKeever's taken a nasty one in the head there, but what a start from Alloa. All that they're missing is the goal, but we're only a minute or so in.
There again you see what was highlighted by the manager, his deliveries into the box. That's such an awkward ball, and even without an Alloa touch, it's almost in the back of the net.
Another opportunity to put that ball into the box. Stanger's looking at the back post, ready to make his move into the middle. Or not. He's just kind of, it isn't really your most potent aerial threat to stick him out the danger zone. Not that it would have mattered, it's straight into the hands of Much. But like you say, bright start from the Wasps.
But again, not the first time we've seen that. Connor Salmon scored after 7 minutes. Obviously 3-0 up in 20 minutes. We don't want to burn it too early.
Murray out to Cragen. His ball's not quite as accurate as Strachan's. King should see that one out. What Adam King coming into the side also does is, you touched upon it off air, allow Kevin Colley to go a little bit further forward. Not a role that we really get to see him in very often, but probably his strongest position.
Yeah, I need him in the middle of the pitch. I don't think he's got the pace anymore to go round 2 or 3 players and put himself in these areas. But just play him there for the beginning. Obviously, a fantastic player, fantastic football in mind. He's going to use the pockets space really well. And on the bench as well, we've got Luke Donnelly, who's another player who excels in that position. So I think we're over this sticky period now. Should have enough creativity to bring back the goals.
Yeah, that was a bright spark last week. As Connor Salmon, his touch is into the feet of Colley. He's bundled down. No, will he go into the boot for that as well? He will do it. Kyle Jacobs there. The cynical nature of that foul. Good from Salmon though. I'm not too sure if he 100% meant it, but it worked.
So if your first touch is there to another player, that works.
The quick free kick has just been pulled back. Taggart will stand over it. Alloa committing quite a few bodies forward. Taggart sends it into the box, not quite the accuracy that he was looking for.
Obviously, he picked out FC Edinburgh sitting second in the league, but for Alloa, just sitting outside the playoff places, I think a win today would be really, really nice. It's a tough month coming up ahead of us. I think you can probably predict the end of the season placings based on how we do in this next month. I want us to retain the crown as well, or the title of being the most exciting team. I think Airdrie have taken that over.
Yeah. SC Edinburgh, it might be a nice time to play them. Alan Maybury and John Robertson picking up both the Cinch individual awards last month. We all know what happens after the announcement of that.
Well, they did lose last week, so
that's true.
Maybe the curse is already done.
Connor Salmon might be offside, not quite.
Perfect.
And it's a good 1-2 between him and McKeever. Now Samuel is driving into the box. He wants it on his right, uses the step over, wins the corner. You can see what he's wanting to do. It's good defending from Edinburgh, to be fair, but positive again from Salmon. Started brightly.
I just wonder if he could have been even more positive and take it a bit more out of his feet and drive at the defender. I think he was a bit hesitant. Just going to see that chance again. The three up front now, they're creating, which is something we've not seen for a few weeks. It's just going to be whipped in.
Corner comes in. It's to Connor Salmon! And he's back on the score sheet. No, he's not. It's disallowed. Disallowed for a foul there. Salmon using a bit too much strength. Again, right at the heart of it.
Unfortunately, the replay does. Maybe hands up during the ball, and
not too many complaints. Obviously a few, but
it's again we just go to say what a bright period Alloa have had. First 7 minutes.
Look at Salmon. He's dispossessed Cragen as well. Finds Skugel. Good from Skugel, finding the space, bringing Robertson into it, and he'll switch out onto that right hand side. Kevin Colley floating over to offer some support.
That's hooked it.
Yeah, not quite what he intended to do. Opportunity for Murray to chase it down, but Alloa in control of that one. McKeever's flick on is something that he's going to have to chase himself. It's good though from this is kind of the last 30 minutes of the Connor Salmon performance that we saw last week. That harassing the defenders, dispossessing James Cragen, not giving him a minute.
I'll just say this, it's amazing what confidence does for you in football.
Yeah.
He's not been on the score sheet for a number of weeks. Again, struggled with everything, just simple touches and passes, but you wouldn't know that for the interplay so far.
Yeah, and it affects all sorts of players, not just young and inexperienced players, but players that have played at the top level as well. And Connor Salmon, and like you say, as soon as that goal went in, it's so much more brighter from the Irishman.
That's it, bigging up Kevin Colley. Maybe bigged them up too far again, giving the ball away simply again. First bit of possession sustained for Edinburgh.
Cragen. They'll just be looking to get some touches of the ball, calm the game down a little bit, no doubt. McIntyre looks to clip it into space. It's enough pressure from Stanger, but handling picks up the loose ball as the rain absolutely pours down.
You can hear it hitting off the tin roof.
The gap between the Alloa Ultras and the rest of the supporters is closing as they try and pack underneath the entry bit. Church. Let's get Strachan in support, but he decides to clip it long for McKeever. Good for McKeever again, winning the header against both white shirts. Still unlucky from McKeever and Strachan. Not getting the break of the ball. Church. It's awkward from Church, but he's done well to recover. This left side for Alloa is a real attacking threat now. Not only do you have Daniel Church on 8 assists, you've also now got Luke Strachan, who looked so bright last week, and his intentions are to bomb forward and get balls into the box.
Yeah, and what do you know what I quite like having this fullbacks in either centre half role. We saw it last week. Taggart bombing beyond King. Obviously for the 2-1, the winner.
It's a good ball from Church to McKeever. Colley looks to get a bit of space, deflected, or not quite. Looks like he's just going to slice that.
Well, I was just going to say for the winner last week, it's Church overlapping, and we've seen that with Scotland. Tierney playing inside centre back. It gives us an attacking outlet that no team is prepared for. There's that chance again for Kevin Colley.
Yeah, just didn't quite catch it right, but McKeever, everything seems to be sticking with McKeever so far. Hogarth will come just outside his box and empty that. Not quite kept in by Kevin Colley. Edinburgh have got the throw in from the back of that. It's a good switch of play from the visitors, but Strachan is alert to it. Dispossesses him, gets it back off of Ross McKeever. Not much in front of him, but he's done well just to skip away from Murray. And Alloa coming forward again. Good turn from Colley. Just a bit of a loose pass again from Kevin Colley, maybe once or twice. Murray will take that one out. But again, it's Ross McKeever that's always the one making himself available, letting his forward players just bounce the ball off him, such an important point of the attack. Ball has gone out in favour of the visitors for a throw in here. Murray clips it down the line. Church is the one to knock it out for a throw in. Cragen will quickly come over to take it. It's a good bit of play there from Robertson. He switches it out to the right, handling now in the box. Jockeyed out by Taggart and King. Still alive though for Edinburgh with Callum Crane. Jacobs. Handling has to go back to Fontaine, but that will allow them to switch it over to the right hand side where Ennis Murray is alert to it. As a Strachan note, and it will be an Alloa throw in. Good touch there, and Robertson looks to carve open an opportunity, dealt with well by Alloa, and Salmon wins his header. He'll chase Fontaine's back pass all the way, and much as quick off his line.
That was the way he got his goal last Saturday. Very close again.
And handling out to the left hand side to McDonald. McDonald looks to beat King, beats it well. Yeah, he got his goal like that last Saturday, but he's also got a lot to do as well, doesn't he, in terms of bringing that ball under control and slotting it past the Queen's goalkeeper. His name has escaped me, and I've got a new one, so I won't need to remember it. The young boy starts with the
Charlie Cowie.
Yes.
Charlie Cowie.
It's all changed at Queen of the South since 7 days ago when we beat them 2-1.
Well, hopefully it's not too much change, because I don't want another team challenging for the playoffs.
Yeah, a couple of strong signings from Marvin Bartley to start. Jack Bryden, obviously a big loss to the Queen of the South back line, and Dabrowski, the goalkeeper as well, who I think is a pretty good, if not excellent, number one for this level.
100%.
It'll be interesting to see how Bartley does. Very well renowned.
It's certainly the position that they needed support in, because defensively, we've seen it can be really poor at times.
Yeah.
That game where we won 5-1, 3 goals in the space of 5 minutes, it's unbelievable. Anyway, back to 2 good teams here, hopefully.
Salmon will continue the press from the front, forcing much to go long. Church again, sweeping it up. Second ball still kind of up for grabs, and Salmon's latched onto it. It's poor defending, and his pass is just not quite what McKeever was after. Maybe a little bit rushed. Again, Alloa win it back and Salmon's battling well for it. Skugel, brilliant feet from Skugel.
Can he beat Fontaine? And that's probably been a story of the FC Edinburgh games as well, that he's been excellent in. Maybe had a bit of a holiday for the first 20 minutes in the last one, right enough. But
yeah, you tend to find the toughest opponents that Alloa have played this season seem to be Liam Fontaine, Kyle Benedictus. I put Jordan Foster up there as well, a certain kind of build of centre half, and Fontaine definitely fits that bill. But it's someone that a Salmon and McKeever get a bit more joy as opposed to an Offord or Rodden, just in terms of physicality. But it's a good ball in
Beautiful.
from Strachan, and that's an absolute peach of a goal. It's the new boy Strachan into Connor Salmon, his 12th goal of the season for the Irishman. He's back on fire, and Alloa are very deservedly in the lead.
just a fantastic goal. He has had one knocked off already, but absolutely no stopping this one.
It's all in the cross as well. It's absolutely pinpoint from Luke Strachan, and the whip on it as well. It just means that Salmon's got to glance it on target. And like you say, what a difference a goal makes last week. So confident, you know that he's putting that in the back of the net.
Yep, absolutely beautiful, and you can't say it's no deserved.
Yeah, Alloa have started very strongly and deservedly a goal ahead.
Delivery in, just too far for anybody for FC Edinburgh.
Yeah, back in business after a quick break to fix the...
It's clearly too hot in this beautiful press box. The poor people outside have had to endure the cold. But it does bring its own problems as the windows steam up.
I'll get back to the game. It's good for Connor Salmon to be rewarded with that goal, isn't it, after such a bright start, because he had a few chances, he was harassing the defenders, and all that was kind of missing for the first 20 minutes for him was that goal.
And it's good to score as well when you're on top of the game. We've seen it so many chances that you're on top, you don't score, and then you get a sucker punch against you. We had that in the first game. We had a great opportunity, I think Adam King on the edge of the box to go 3-0 up.
Here's Edinburgh trying to work their way back into this game, enjoy a little bit of possession. Jeff McIntyre goes forward for Shanley. Taggart reads it well though and lets it run through to Hogarth, who will happily take that. One thing is for sure, steamed windows or not, you will not miss Jay Hogarth in that kit. It's an excellent piece of distribution from Hogarth, and McKeever just doesn't quite get the right touch on it.
Yeah, as soon as it bounces, it just slips away from him. And I saw someone asking on Twitter, what are the best kind of passes? Well, that's a beautiful 70-yard crossfield ball. McKeever could have taken a touch. That would have been a beautiful opportunity for McKeever.
Much goes long as well. Strong play from King. Throw in taken quickly and backwards, and Alloa switch it over to Church on the left hand side. Strachan shown for it. It's another inviting ball from Strachan, but well read by McIntyre and threads through to the goalkeeper. Inventive idea though from the on loan Londonian. On two from Taggart, and King opens a bit of space, takes handling out the game. Alloa go forward. Salmon, he's like a man possessed at the moment, winning everything. Church. Great idea from Alloa, just trying to work the triangles.
Just maybe a little too cute with that first time pass. Breaks it down in the end.
Cragen's sliced out.
Great pressure from Stefan Skugel. His effort wins the throw in.
Church goes long for McKeever. McKeever's got the switch there if he wants it. It's not as accurate as it can be.
The full flank of that pitch to hit, and he's played it straight to IC Edinburgh defender.
It's a good kind of turn. Yeah, top of the shoulder from handling, and now Edinburgh breaking the right hand side. Cragen's pass quite fortuitously goes through to Robertson, but like you said, brilliant from Stanger.
It's been a big boost as well, having him back.
Yeah, he offers you so much in terms of physicality, but also just his pace as well, recovery moments, commanding nature at the back. Taggart gets a foot on it, and it will do for the time being. Cragen's on for the overlap. His cross comes in over Hogarth's head, and King knocks it out for a goal kick. For a corner kick even.
Safety first from King. Decent cross in, but Edinburgh would have done well to have scored from that, just maybe a bit overhit. Certainly we don't want to allow Cragen too many chances to deliver, because he's another player that eventually will find the winning formula. Break this Alloa defence down. Manager
just fetching another ball. Not too sure where it went. It didn't seem like it went over to Hawkhill Road, but it's not coming back anyway. We'll wait the corner to eventually come in. Does so. Good take from Hogarth, and you know what he's like. He's wanting to get the ball distributed out quickly. Colley's done well. Can he switch it over? Oh. It's good recovery there from McDonald, but again fortuitous.
If he'd made that pass, it would have been a 4-on-3 for Alloa.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly who it was. Maybe it was McKeever joining the attack, but
yeah, it was bound for McKeever if McIntyre just didn't get his body in the way.
Alloa piling forward for the potential counter attack. That's what I say. I just feel like we're back to the beginning of the season when we were flowing really well.
And that's what victory can do for lifting morale and confidence in the group. But I think it was always quite important to look at the last wee bit of time with a bit of perspective. It's only one defeat in the last 9 before today, and if that's your bad run of form, then you're biting your hand off for that. Because inevitably you're always going to go through a little bit of a slump as the ball comes in. Hogarth palms it, no takers. To his rebound, it's still there. Handling. Cross is dealt with by King.
One of those opportunities for King. You may think a defender might just go safety first, knock it out, but he takes a touch and hits it away for a throw in. One of the rare times that Hogarth's handlings let him down. It's not even low at his feet and a bouncing ball.
Yeah, it's an awkward one to take. He's palmed it into, well, it is a decent area because there's nobody there, and got to give him the credit for that.
He's no longer the left back.
I know, I can't use that. Nearly made himself a career out of that goal. Looks to come in from McDonald. But Alloa just holding their shape well. Stubborn backline to break down. At the right moments, the front men are just engaging in the press as well. Fontaine awkwardly clears it, headed into a beautiful area from Church, and Scougal gives it back to Daniel Church, and the first time we've really seen him further up. Back post to Connor Salmon!
Unbelievable.
Absolutely superb. This time it's the other left back that's put it on a plate for Samo. He makes no mistake, and it's his second of the afternoon. We called him a man possessed. He certainly looks like it. What an unbelievable move from Alloa, and something that we might become accustomed to in the second half of the season.
Just a sensational cross again. Churchy to the back post. It's one undefendable cross. It's absolutely brilliant. And that's it. Another addition down the left. Another danger man. And we've got so many that you can't pick them all up.
Yeah, they just can't deal with two bombing forward left backs. It's Daniel Church's 9th assist of the season, Connor Salmon's 13th goal, and if you told any Alloa fans that during the Barry Ferguson era, they would have not believed you. It's testament to the players, isn't it?
I've got to be quite complimentary Barry Ferguson's eye for a player, because he always said that Connor Salmon just needed a bit of confidence.
They certainly got that. It was a long time for him to score a hat-trick before he grabbed one at Bucky Thistle away at the start of the season. He's got the best part of an hour, just over an hour, to bag himself another one. Cross comes in. Deep. Too deep. Football's a simple game sometimes, isn't it? And when you look at those two goals, a lot of excellence and a lot of skill. But
definitely, you don't want to count your chickens too quick, though. We know how these results have went.
It's funny how it goes. Work it out to the left, whip it in.
Certainly from what you've seen in the first half hour, though, this Alloa performance has been outstanding.
Yeah.
And like we picked out earlier, Uzi sees on the bench, but there's no a lot else that you're going to look at and say these are the players to change the game.
But I think you're quite right to say, it's important that you get into, although we're not anywhere near half-time now, but don't give them that glimmer of hope before half-time. Salmon's done well to head knock and brought it back. But yeah, it's important you don't give them a glimmer before half-time, because you know how
a foul against us actually.
Quickly the game can turn, and turned very quickly in the capital last time. Chance to update some scores around the division. Dunfermline 1, Peterhead 0, Falkirk 1, Clyde 0, Kelty 0, Airdrie 1, and Montrose and Queen of the South still locked 0-0.
Yeah, Montrose are a slight kind of out of form just now. I think apart from that, maybe the results that you would expect, is certainly the teams looking to finish in the top of the table are winning. Or maybe say we're the freak team as well. Causing an upset so far. Maybe a bit of a knock to the nose for Fontaine. Is that Fontaine on the far side?
Yeah, looks like it. He's taking a sore one. Doesn't look like you say like a head knock, looks more like a bash in the nose.
Because I feel bad he's not.
Yes, looks like he's alright, and he's going to come back on and continue. Will be a wee change of the shirt. Must have been a kind of bash in the nose, bit of bleeding. Tell you what, when he's taking his shirt off, it's not a guy you want to get into a physical battle with.
Yeah.
pretty sure he does own.
It's been a while since we've had that segment. Who would you take in a fight?
Yeah, and he would definitely not be one of them. A new strip for Liam Fontaine. Just a blank one.
Yep, blood shirt out. I didn't mind that. Jim Spence getting confused. Cassandra Graham walked up against Dundee United with a blood shirt on. And I was trying to say, well, the clue is in he's got the captain's armband on, but hopefully Fontaine's, well, he's got the captain's armband on as well. So
as long as no budding journalists call him Edinburgh for the next bit, as they've got that branding on the back. Yes, back on, looking fine. I think it will take a lot more than that to knock him down. His handling's in the corner there. Hounded out by the Alloa bodies. Corner kick for his troubles. It'll be Cragen that's gone over to take the corner. Takes the shot to Robertson. He's looking to find a bit of space. Twisting, turning, knocks it back to Cragen. His cross is lofted high. McKeever clears it only as far as Jacob's Zote. Robertson takes charge of the situation. Taggart hoists his clearance up for the first time. Here is Cragen. I think it's maybe come off of Strachan there.
again, there's gaping holes in this FC Edinburgh defence.
Yeah.
If those clearances went the right way, I think you could have easily seen a McKeever flick on to Salmon.
I think the gaping holes are also intensified by, like you said a little earlier, the fact that two out of the three of your centre halves are attack-minded fullbacks, and it always causes problems when a centre half steps out of defence. If you've got two of them willing to do that, it's creating quite an overload at points for Alloa. And you back the likes of Strachan to have the athleticism to, and he does, as we've seen in the first half. He's still getting back and mucking in defence as well, so we don't seem to be too outnumbered. And the opponents are putting the pressure on. Strachan, some throw from the youngster there. Another element to his game potentially. Tries the ball, looks to go long. And they certainly got a longer throw-in than any of the Alloa players in the first half of the season. That's potentially something that Alloa can tap into. Skugel gets in behind Crane.
That's just another fantastic ball in.
King
Here's the delivery.
King does well. It causes a bit of confusion. I think looked like Collymore kind of slipped into that tackle. It is a foul on Jacobs, but I don't know if I'd put too much blame on Colley's shoulders.
Again, quite happy with how this game's gone.
It's awkward at the back from Edinburgh. Still trying to work their way out. McIntyre
Has win the throw in. As much as Hogarth's had to blame a couple awkward crosses.
Yeah,
it's a very easy day so far.
Been fairly unchallenged so far.
I just worry though in these lulls we don't allow a cheap opportunity. I think that is one of the things that's contributed to this sticky period. Sometimes the mistakes we make at the back are just a bit too easy.
Yeah. It would be good if we could keep the intensity and the tempo high. Because as of yet, Edinburgh don't seem to have found a way to deal with the overloads, and particularly the left-hand side. 2 goals, 1 disallowed goal and 1 off the bar. The opening 35 minutes. Unlucky from Sam. Showed good strength there originally. We're throwing in the halfway line. Not back for McIntyre. Fontaine out to Cragen, looking to stretch the play. Cragen goes forward, good take, but Church is out, trying to make it awkward for Robertson. Handling now, over to Crane. McDonald. It's a good overlapping run from Callum Crane. Drops it back into Handling. Toying with the idea of getting the ball into the box. Alloa standing firm though. This is a neat interchange of play.
Just Alloa though, the bank of players there are just shutting everything down. They get enough space, make 1 or 2 passes, but they've not been able to get a decent angle for a cross until now.
Yep, fairly comfortable though in the end. Enough pressure from the Alloa defence to make it an easy catch for Hogarth in goal.
Would have been an excellent finish from Innes Murray. Flick it in.
Alloa back in possession, back over to this left hand side. Strachan did show Church the line, he opted to go for Skugel. It's alive though for Alloa. Fontaine, no danger there. Salmon just catches him late and the ball bundling off the roof that we've got here. Third ball of the afternoon.
Cragen was too happy with Connor Salmon, but I felt like it was more Cragen catching Salmon than the follow through.
I don't think he would be happy if he could see Salmon with a wee smile. He knows the afternoon so far is going his way. Poor ball from Innes Murray straight to the feet of King, and he's looked to unleash McKeever on this right hand side. McKeever one-on-one with the defender, finds Kevin Colley. Can he keep it coming? Again, it's just intercepted there from Innes Murray. So close for Alloa carving open a chance for the third. And Edinburgh now look to hit the Wasps on the break. It's good interchanging passes there. Robertson switches it out. Daniel Church gets a knee to it. And Alloa deal with it.
How's that for a juggle? He's lunged into that one though.
I think he's claiming that there was potentially a wee bit of
pushing the back,
obstruction, or pushing the back to give him the momentum to go into that tackle. But I don't know what Danny Handling is talking about. Danny Handling definitely seems infuriated at something.
It was a great bit of skill for Robertson to balance that ball at his head, I have to say. I've never seen someone do that and then beat their man with I've said it many times about John Robertson that he's one of the players that would have in my 5-a-side team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Close control like that especially.
Up to stick it out to the right hand side where McDonald's occupying. He's whipped it in. It's awkward and Robertson's alive in the 6-yard box. He's flagged offside though. It did look fairly offside, but always a heart in the mouth moment. Nothing Hogarth can do, and just a little warning shot of what someone like John Robertson can do with half a yard of space. He has just peeled off the Alloa back line though a little bit too early. No doubts in the linesman's mind.
Yeah, no doubts from mine either. Straightforward offside as you'll get. Like we've said, it's just a reminder, just a wee warning. Still a lot of time in this game, a lot of work to be done.
It's not quite the ball that Skuggs was after. Robbie Much sends it long. It's good from Robertson. Colley gets his head to it. He will be the one to bring it down. Just about keeps in. Can't quite unleash King on that right hand side, but wins a throw in.
It's just unfortunate. The pass back to King was a bit awkward, and then he took another awkward touch.
He's looking lively, Kevin Colley. There's a couple of times things have just not quite come off, but it's those passes that you want him to be trying because it's inches, and if it goes your way, it's clear-cut opportunities that he's looking to create. Staggert's battling in that corner. I think the Edinburgh boys just got the better of him.
Lucky. Battling all the way. Buck concedes the throw. It's all right in the corner.
5 or so minutes till half time, and a pretty crucial 5 minutes if history is anything to go by. Throw-ins like that, it will be a fairly comfortable 5 minutes.
I will make a wee caveat, just looking at the conditions. The wind seems fairly consistent down to that railway end. So maybe in this first half we've had the advantage of the wind. Certainly it's no a ground that the wind often dictates which sides as well, but we'll see how that affects him.
Good pace from Robertson, causing him problems. His cross is a poor one. There was options in the middle. It's Innes Murray that was lurking around the penalty spot. If he could have just put a more accurate cross in, he pretty much had a free header to challenge Hogarth with.
Well, when it got in here, Danny Hanlon was the option, and maybe a bit half and half, trying to curl it into the back of the net and picking out Innes Murray.
They did have a lot of space in and around the 6-yard box. It's good from Strachan, just putting enough pressure on, and he'll get the second ball as well. Robertson to Salmon.
It's like Strachan, you know, there's a confidence, there's aggression.
Yeah, and he's
see
got
how he's crosses.
Another opportunity, puts it low into the box, causes problems. It's come as far as Skuggo. He might fancy the effort. It's blocked and it doesn't quite fall to the feet of Salmon. Strachan causing all sorts of problems on the left hand side with his deliveries. Walking a bit gingerly, but definitely exerted himself putting that one in. I think he's alright.
There's that Strachan by a wee niggle.
Looked, just kind of ran back after that one with a little bit of a ginger walk, but seems to be all right as he presses down Cragen, gets caught out though, and it's unleashed. McDonald, easy for Alloa to sweep away. Here's McIntyre. There's been a little kind of change of shape or personnel in the Edinburgh side, with McDonald coming over to this right hand side. Innes Murray looks to be slotting into a more central position. Ball goes forward, dealt with by Taggart, and Robertson's there to collect the second ball.
Bit of a hospital pass to Church.
Salmon could really press McDonald down. He's opted to go back with his feet, and good beat from the Edinburgh number. It's awkward that no keeper ever has number 1 anymore. Number 31. It was very light claims for handball.
Yep, I'm glad nothing really happened there. We just got disconnected
It
and the
looked-
camera got AWOL.
It looked like Scott Taggart was about to line up goal of the season there for a
well,
second.
You will never know.
And again, the ball's lost with the car parks around in Rex. As we tick into just after the first minute of additional time. Referee Ian Snedden blows for half time. It's been a very positive display from Alloa in the first half here. It's the story of the left backs and the Irish striker. Luke Strachan first with his delivery, Salmon headed in. It was then Daniel Church's opportunity to put one into the box for Connor Salmon to grab his second of the afternoon. It's been a fairly dominant display from the Wasps. They're moving it about well. It's half time, Alloa Athletic 2, FC Edinburgh 0. The only kind of worry is Luke Strachan is looking a wee bit sore walking off for half time there. He's been excellent in the first half. We'll see what happens come the second half.
Yeah, and I will just. Yeah, I don't think there's much I can add to that. Connor Salmon, excellent. Again, I've got to say about our bench, if we need to use them, we've got Alford, Rodden, Donnelly, even the defensive cover if we want to decide to shut up shop and try and hold on to the game. Plenty of options, so we're in a great place, and I'm glad to finally say that at half time against Edinburgh.
Yeah, we've been here before, so it's plenty of football left to play. We'll leave you with the highlights of the first half, of which there is plenty more than the last home game against Kelty, I'm glad to say, and we'll be back for our coverage in the second half soon. Welcome back to the coverage of the second half, where Alloa currently lead FC Edinburgh by 2-0. No changes for the Alloa team, which is good to see. We did touch up on Strachan picking up a slight knock at the end of the first half, but he is good to continue. And by the looks of things, doesn't look like there's any changes for Edinburgh as well. Not that they really have much ability to ring the changes with only 4 outfielders on the bench. It will be the visitors to get us started for the second half. Fontaine will no doubt look to launch it into this area. But Taggart very easily sweeps it up. Crane's pass is over to Cragen, and he'll continue that over to McDonald. And Alloa will get back possession. And you'd imagine there's not going to be too much change in the way that Alloa approach it, but Alan Maybury will be looking for a much better performance from his side in the second half.
Yeah, they just need one opportunity to change it, so they'll be hopeful. They've shown it time and time again. And if you score 5 goals into a team, now 7 goals into a team now, over 3 games, you'd be expecting to win most of them, but we're coming away with 0 points so far. So
yeah. Just FC Edinburgh and Falkirk and Dunfermline remain on the hit list for Alloa to beat this season. And it's an early opportunity for Danny Handling. He's found a bit of space. Quite lucky for the Alloa defence that he kind of lost his footing. The rain is absolutely pouring down, to be fair.
I'm going to be fair to King as well. I think he anticipated the cutback for Danny Handling, so even though if he did lose his footing, there was nowhere for him to go. It's absolutely horrible out there now, though. A really icy rain coming down.
Yeah, it's like a sleety sort of rain as well, so it just adds to that kind of slushy nature underfoot. Crane goes back to Fontaine. Robertson's flick on is won by Taggart and back to Hogarth, and you'd expect Edinburgh to be fairly upbeat and lively at the start of the second half. They're going to have a rocket put up their backsides at half time and just need to weather the storm in more ways than one with the elements as well, and just let the game settle down a bit and get a foothold, because as expected it's in the opening couple of minutes the visitors are dominating the ball. Goes long and King intercepts it. Colley's looking to work his way out a tight area, but dispossessed by Crane and Shanley. Crane back to Fontaine, lets him come across him and spreads the play out to the right hand side. Edinburgh with space to drive into now with McDonald. 1-2, and here is Robertson. He's got handling and support at the edge of the box. Floats it into an area, and it's of no danger in the end to Hogarth's goal as Murray slices that well wide of the mark.
I was almost sure that had came off an Alloa player. It's going to be an early sub for Alloa by the look of it.
Yeah, it is. We're only on the 48th minute. But Cammy O'Donnell stripped, and I wonder if that will be for Strachan. No, it's not. Looks like it's for Skugel. He is holding his lower back, something that Skugel struggled with this season and previous seasons as well. And 2 minutes into this half has decided that can't go on anymore. Looks dejected coming off, looks frustrated.
Hopefully more of a just preventative. Nah, I didn't feel my back. It's saving for important games.
Must be so frustrating though for Skugel. He never really seems to be able to get a run of a games in terms of racking up to the double figures. For example, you look at someone like Scott Taggart, never misses a game. It's not been that way for Skuggs the last few years.
To draw the comparison, Ian Flanagan was almost exactly the same.
Yeah. And his fortune did turn. There was
exactly.
He did highlight the physio work and things like that, and he was able to manage his. He also had the back problem as well, and towards the end of Flanagan's career, which more took his retirement, which made his retirement make even more surprising. But he very rarely missed a game.
In the 49th minute of the match, leaving the field of play number 12, Stefan Skugel, who replaced by number 20, Cameron O'Donnell.
It's an awkward ball into the box, but Hogarth selects it. And Alloa can break forward now. An opportunity for, we spoke about ridding demons, an opportunity for Cammy to rid the demons of the side from the capital. Obviously saw an early bath, which was a big reason why the game turned so much on its head. But he's come back into the team. He's looked fairly dependable since coming back in, consistent performances, so he's rewarded with a half of football today.
So I wonder who's going to be the set piece taker.
Yeah,
he was always on free kicks and corners, and Luke Strachan seemed to have taken that role.
Yeah, now you've got three players deployed in that left, or favouring that left-hand side, who are all well known for very good deliveries. And Alloa latch onto that loose ball, and what is the intention of Robertson's pass there? There's sometimes in commentary you just hit with a bit of bewilderment. He had options to his left, he had Salmon in front of him, he's just zinged it to the goalkeeper.
They call that a miss hit.
Yeah. It looked like he did exactly what he intended to do. Unfortunately, it doesn't come to anything for Alloa, and Edinburgh break forward once more. Sometimes something in your head just seems a lot better than what it does in reality.
That's a good imagination, John Robertson. Just a little too good.
Hogarth will look to distribute this one with his feet. A decent ball. Keever can't quite win the header, but the second ball Ball's in favour of King. Edinburgh back in with possession. Murray. Here's Ennis Murray looking to claw his side back into the game. Drops it to the right hand side. Cross will eventually make its way into the box. Does now. Colley's there to hook it back to where it came from. Now Alloa resume their defensive positions as they await another cross into the middle. It's a great bit of interchange from Edinburgh, and it's fallen for John Robertson, and that is a fantastic goal to bring Edinburgh back into that game. Beautiful interchange on that right hand side. Alloa were left like statues, and John Robertson, fresh off his Player of the Month award, drills it past Hogarth, and we've got a game on our hands for the second half.
Apparently I don't have that replay. I'll grab that. Hopefully there's a wee stoppage and I can grab that. Anyway, that's what you get for John Robertson. We've seen it before, time and time again. He can turn games round. Slotting into the bottom corner, it changes the face of this game. Just a 1-goal lead now for Alloa. Are Alloa going to be able to react to this? I mean, what I will say for this FC Edinburgh team, there'll be a lot of players that I think, and John Robertson especially, just being a 21-year-old, the teams higher up the ladder will be looking at him and saying, we can take him full time.
Yeah,
certainly all the attributes of a quality striker.
He can't score the amount of goals that he scores, and he does a lot off the ball as well. There's much more to his game than just his goals. There will be teams having a look at him. But yeah, you're right, the next kind of 5-10 minutes are so important for Alloa. The game the last time so quickly turned on its head, and Alloa might potentially have that lingering at the back of their head. It's important that they get rid of that and just focus on the task ahead, get back to the football they were playing in the opening 45.
I think in every game as well we've had the opportunity to put the game to bed.
It's into the box and Robertson gets the header. It's not directed on target.
I mean, we've been arbiters of our own fate because, let's say, Adam King on the edge of the box scuffs his shot into a defender. Skugel wins the penalty, gets saved. These opportunities could have turned the games. Well, we have an opportunity here to put the game to bed. Like I say, it's see that flag in the corner, blown back into Jay Hogarth's goal. Thick rain coming down.
I think most of the stadium announcer and most of the press to my right missed the Edinburgh goal because there seems to be some free cake going, and they've completely missed the goal. So it was priorities in the Alloa press box from
on your cell journals.
Shanley shows good strength, as does Stanger. Good battle there, but he just had far too much of his shirt. Free kick goes in favour of the Wasps. Colley looked like he might latch onto that header, but King is penalised for that one. The game just a little bit bitty. 56 minutes on the clock. It's going to be a nervy last 30. All the momentum seems to be with the visitors at the moment. This is more kind of the Edinburgh that we expected to come and play at the start of the game. As Callum Crane skips inside, finds Robertson. He's dispossessed by his namesake, and that's a better ball from John Robertson. He sent Connor Salmon out, and just and no more. Robbie Much wins that foot race, and he's knocked it off of Salmon as well.
I just feel like halfway through, Connor Salmon should have just allowed him to have it. The way it is, he's giving away the throw. It's such a tantalising ball through there. Maybe give goalkeeper credit. He's committed and done his job very, very well.
Yeah, he's quick off his line. Fontaine again lets it come across him, hoofs it forward. Well won. Alloa don't get the second ball. It's good defending there from King. Lost the ball for a second in terms of knowing where it was, but always in control of it. And Alloa back in possession, looking to. Taggart looks like he's going to send it long, trying to get in behind the white line of defence. McKeever just uses a little bit too much of his forearm there. You can see Brian Rice deep in discussion a couple of minutes ago with his backroom staff looking at the bench. Like you say, there's plenty of options on it. It's Alloa battle into the wind and the rain to try and carve open an opportunity for the third. The conditions have definitely turned up a gear.
It's sideways at the minute with the rain. So you see these fun conditions to watch football, definitely not to play in.
Fun if you're sitting in a heated press box, maybe not if you're standing behind that goal there. The wind battering into you. Ball goes long. Hogarth comes out. He's done well, Hogarth. Looked awkward, but he's managed to put it out for a goal kick. I think he maybe thought it was coming into his box and he could be able to sweep it up with his hands, but dealt with it well in the end. Immediate danger averted. There was one last week at Queen of the South that he came flying out for and was kind of bailed out by his defenders, but done that one on his own this week. Here's Innes Murray, looks to clip it in. It's a great ball in from Innes Murray, and great save there from Hogarth. It just makes himself big. It's not the cleanest connection on it from the Edinburgh hitman, but Hogarth does just enough to put it out for a corner. Tantalising cross though from Murray.
Yeah, beautiful dink. Just two runners in there unmarked.
Corner comes in and it's bobbling about. Can they get a shot away? Robertson's shot's blocked. Going to come back in. Robertson sends it. Hogarth gets a strong punch to it.
I've actually got to give credit. I think it's either Church or Strachan that get the foot and eventually knock it out for a corner. So I mean, you can hear the rain just now. This is torrential. Unfortunately for Alloa, the siege is on their goal just now.
Taggart gets a foot to it. It's still going to be kept alive from Edinburgh, though. They've got an opportunity at the edge of the box, blocked out for a corner kick. Sometimes it can be quite hard to see the players in and amongst absolutely pelting down sleety rain, but they've taken it quickly. They're looking to keep the charge on. It's a decent looking ball. Yeah, and he'll be
nice, easy.
He'll be penalised for that one. And Alloa not making a substitution. I think the linesman's just, something's happened to the linesman on the near side, and he's gone up the tunnel. Not too sure what he's off to do.
When you need to go, you need to go.
That's probably what he's doing there.
I mean, if I was an Alloa player at this point, Donnelly.
Yeah, Donnelly comes on, and it happens so quickly, but it will be Kevin Colley.
So Luke Donnelly, like I said,
it's great to see Luke back. I think when we heard that his foot was broken, not many people expected him to see him as quick as the start of January.
Remarkably quick recovery.
And this is the kind of player that you want on at this time when the game's maybe going against you a little bit. We need someone to get a grip of this midfield again. Since Google's gone off, we haven't really seemed to get involved too much in the midfield. Saw the difference he could make at Palmerston. They're so influential in the winner. That ball in behind the defence, and we'll be looking for a little bit more of that.
Leaving the field of play, number 7, Kevin Colley, replaced by number 9, Luke Donnelly.
Adds a little bit of height as well if Alloa do opt to go long in the final half an hour, which is, whether it's a conscious decision or not, is no doubt what we'll see a bit more of. O'Donnell battling well, but will get the free kick for his troubles. I think he's probably...
It's one of those toss-up situations where both players have got their arms around each other.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a few brave souls, hardy brave souls, standing out in the rain.
It's into the box. Can Donnelly get anything on it? Not quite. Taggart. Not the best delivery, but it's awkward in the end. It didn't look like it was going to cause any problems, but missed by pretty much everyone. It's taken a deflection and out for a corner. Looked like he played it too low, and
yeah, it looked like it would have been an easy clearance for anyone attacking from it. It just never happened. Bounced straight through the middle of that FC Edinburgh defence.
Corner now on the far side. Your guess is as good as mine as to who's actually gone over to take it. Looks like it's King. He puts the ball into the box, and McKeever's the one that connects with it. He drifted off his man, but the effort's no problem in the end for Robbie Much.
I actually feel like he was just trying to chip it up to Connor Salmon.
Yeah.
Again, it was another low percentage play.
It's good movement though from McKeever to peel off his man and find the space. But execution, albeit very hard, not 100%. Only other changes in the score across the division as Montrose have taken the lead against Marvin Bartley's Queen of the South. Montrose are a team that are obviously just behind us in the league, albeit played a game more as well. Throw in on this far side. Strachan. Donnelly gives it back to Strachan, should win a corner. Double ricochet, unfortunately. Goal kick in the end, hard to kind of tell from this sort of distance, but he's unlucky there. Strachan.
This is another thing that I've noticed about Donnelly. He tries to play it and just stop it on the byline so you can get that cross back in. That was how the goal against Queen of the South came about, and that's an awkward challenge on Stanger.
Yeah, and you can see the frustration there from, I think, John Robertson, who has been quite vocal throughout the opening 65 minutes of this game, and he'll continue to berate Ian Snedden, the referee. Taggart. His ball's into an awkward area, cleared only as far as Adam King. He'll send it back in first time. Too much on it though, and nobody coming on from the left hand side, so Edinburgh back in possession. Good turn there from Robertson. He's beaten his man well, but the forward pass is wayward.
Left a little to be desired. That though is a terrible ball, and it's going to set up a
just in behind Murray. You can see pointing in front of him, he knows exactly where he wants it, but Alan Maybury, the manager, just telling them to calm it down a little bit because that pass was quite rushed. Loses the opportunity for the attack.
I'm speaking for everybody from an Alloa perspective. I'm very glad that didn't go through. It's a strange one. It's how I mean, at times in the first half, untouchable, we seem to have lost that space.
Yeah.
We just lose control of games a little, and I feel like that is what's happening here.
It's Edinburgh on the ascendancy once more. Cross comes in. Good take from Hogarth. And unlike the first half, he's just calming it down a little bit. Yeah, which is it's exactly the right thing to do. Then distributing it out to King. And that passes.
Not the greatest.
A poor one, he'll get away with it though. But no conviction in the ball.
Only with a great run.
Yeah, it's found well by Taggart. Touches into decent area. He'll have support there from King. That's a good ball in from King, and Salmon.
Not tall enough to connect.
Yeah, it looked like he was coming in for a hat trick there, not to be. But Alloa will look to get another chance here on goal. McKeever's maybe touches backwards, and they'll just look to start again and build from the back. Stanger. Good strength from him. Shrugs it off his opponent.
This is a good passage of play.
Yeah, and that's beautiful from McKeever. It's read well by.
Yeah, well defended.
You can't really fault McKeever too much. It was the right idea.
I just like how we kept the ball there nice and calmly, played it around. We've worked the opening well. I think more of that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Obviously, it is horrible conditions there. No one could get the control of the ball for Alloa. When we do have it, giving it away cheaply, that's the golden rule. Never give it away.
Callum Crane on the left now. Knocks it out. Cross comes in, it's a low one, intercepted. Yeah, like you say, easily by Taggart. Ball forward is not the greatest, but the header comes off just and no more for Edinburgh.
Again, I've got to praise Donnelly's running. Almost a ridiculous run there. Salmon.
I don't. It's a tough one for Salmon. I don't really know much more what he can do.
He's got a player running across the front of him.
Yeah. Free kick is taken quickly, as you would expect. The attack will surge on. Found a little bit of space, drives it at Hogarth's goal, well taken down the throat of the goalkeeper. Don't know what's going to happen when the conditions are like this, but safe hands from Hogarth. Taggart's long ball is not sticking up top for these long distributions. As we enter the final 20 minutes, far too early to start seeing it out. Alloa need to find a way to carve open some opportunities for themselves. McIntyre looks to clip it in behind Taggart.
I've got to say, I think he's got very lucky there.
Yeah.
Maybe the wind just taking it slightly off trajectory, but he's it's not the greatest of headers, is it?
No. Looks like we will be getting joined by Ozzy C in the coming minutes. He's been called back from his warm-up, running back to the bench with intent. But to be fair, so would I if I was out warming up in that rain. But it is probably the most likely option off the bench that Edinburgh have, to be honest. Ball goes long, Stanger wins it, Shanley picks up the Second ball, drops it into Danny Handling, lets it come across him, and Daniel Church reads that well and hooks it out for a shy just inside the Alloa half. Here they come once more with McIntyre. Cragen shows for it. Robertson, the goal scorer, collects but gives it back to the midfielder. McIntyre gets the jeers from the stand. It's a poor touch, and Alloa are relieved of that pressure. Taggart will just take his time to stroll over to the ball. Keever's header, not quite.
Probably an Alloa ball. Get away with that one.
Yeah, kind of hoisted it upwards as opposed to directed to King, but King's made it awkward enough to keep possession for his side for now. Taggart will send it forward to McKeever again. That's better from Ross McKeever. Unfortunately, King not on the same page as his forwards. Salmon chasing down Much. Does enough to put him off. Nice kick out.
Well, not a vintage second half for Alloa, but we're doing as well as we have so far.
Yeah, we're hanging in there for now, and still chances in this game. The game will become a bit more stretched as Edinburgh enter the time that they're really going to have to throw the kitchen sink at it.
As Murray's going to do a lot from here. There's no one in the middle.
Yeah, it's well read by Stanger. He probably had more time than he thought to deal with it, but at this stage it's probably just avert any immediate problems and deal with whatever comes after, of which they'll try to do now from the throw-in. And again, it's gifted back into possession for Alloa. 15 minutes left of normal time. Yeah, and the game is definitely the life of the game has been sucked out of it, which is fine if you're 2-1 up.
Winning, exactly.
Yeah. They've sent it long to Donnelly. Oh, and he's done well there. McIntyre, it looked like he was going to head it back to his goalkeeper, opted not to, and now Edinburgh will come forward with Handling over to the right hand side. Options there. Cross will look to come in, blocked and out for a throw in though. McDonald's over it. Alloa force the ball back for now. Jacobs. Hagan now. There's options in the box should they wish to use them. It will come in now. It's good from Stanger. Off his knee or his shin, but clears it. Handling. Callum Crane. Teasing the Alloa defence, trying to find that yard of space to put an inviting ball into the box. Alloa standing firm and they might get the opportunity to hit Edinburgh on the break.
Oh,
he is offside.
it just went too early. I mean, that point, as soon as he should have hit it, he's just taken one extra touch. Robertson there with the opportunity to play one of his nice balls in behind. Just unfortunate.
He does Robertson for Edinburgh. Switches it over to Handling. Looks to bring Shanley into it. Can't do so, and now Donnelly holding it up well. looking for options coming on. Brilliant feet from Luke Donnelly. He had them both beaten before being hooked down to the ground and winning the free kick for his side.
He's a great footballer, Luke Donnelly, isn't he? Another Edinburgh chance that comes to nothing. It's been...
There's Salmon, come off the hand of Salmon. He'll be penalised for that. Yeah, such close control from Donnelly. Probably the biggest asset of his game. Sucks the players in. A couple of touches and he's away.
I think it's interesting for Edinburgh. I feel like most of their goals that they scored against us were counter-attacking goals and things that were well won from individual players. Like I'm looking at Robertson, especially. Lucky when it's hit the referee. I think that was a wayward pass and Alloa would have picked up. But I don't know if they've got the quality to break a team who sit in and behind. Obviously last week in Fairland, I think that's probably been one of their strongest traits, how defensively organised they are. Certainly it's shown in the league by how little goals they've conceded.
Yeah.
Edinburgh, despite having good bits of play, just no much threat against them. And I think in this game, maybe it's been the first time we've really done it. We've sat in a nice shape in front of Edinburgh and they've struggled to break us down.
Yeah, again, it's faltered here into the hands of Hogarth, luckily for your sake.
Listen.
But yeah, it's one of those ones that, you know, the times that we have lost against Edinburgh, it's been such a momentum shift that you can see the way that the game's going. Alloa do seem content in this defensive shape, but it's with players like John Robertson, it's not something that you want to invite for too long. Because, like you say, the other side of it's that individual brilliance of which he has plenty. And they will make that substitution. OZC will be coming on for Ryan Shanley. Scored a hat-trick against us last time. Not really had a kick today, to be fair. And you can see that by the way that he's gone off the pitch, totally dejected. He wouldn't be blamed if he didn't know he was actually playing. It's one of those afternoons for him, unfortunately. OZC offers a completely different threat.
Another man whose physicality is going to impact the game, or will it impact the game, we'll see.
It's floated in by Crane. It's bobbling about. McIntyre looks to put the ball into the box and King is alert to it. Drops it back into Taggart. Good chasing down from Fontaine, but it will be a throw in for the Wasps.
Still 10 minutes to go. That clock is ticking down nicely. We're not conceding these openings that we were earlier on in the half. As things stand, Alloa marching towards their first 3 points against FC Edinburgh.
Fontaine, smart defending. Diverts it away from Donnelly. And the story of the next 10 minutes is probably going to look like it's going to happen all in Alloa's half. A lot of chasing for the Wasps. Salmon, loose one on the Edinburgh defender there. Not quite sure why. The ball was well gone.
Maybe a little tiredness there into Salmon's game.
Yeah. It's averted. The Alloa defender cross comes in. Hogarth spills it, recovers very well though. Pounces on it at the second time of asking. Slight heart and mouth moment, but Hogarth has it covered in the end.
First little mistake we've seen in that left hand side. Luke Strachan coming for the ball, I think it was, and he completely missed it. Thankfully, it's not a vital miss.
Donnelly will chase that one down. It's interesting that he's playing the higher role between him and McKeever. It's normally vice versa, but cross will come in too close to Robbie Much, and Salmon making himself awkward as he does so well. Good from Church. Knocks it out for a Edinburgh throw-in. They'll give a chance for some bodies to form back into their defensive shape as we see the arrival of Andy Graham. 39-year-old Andy Graham will come on to see this game out. Adam King makes way. That'll no doubt see Scott Taggart move over to the right-hand side. Yeah, it's the most logical.
I would think. Certainly puts another player in there, win the aerial battles.
Yeah, different type of role for Andy. He takes the captain's armband.
Again, I know it's maybe a bit of organisation as well. Andy, he's been there, done it.
Yeah, he'll slot into the middle of defence. Danger will come over to the right centre half, and Taggart will play right wing back, which, to be honest, at this point is just right back. He won't be doing much bombing forward. Kyle Jacobs has a pop. Hogarth safely gathers.
Yeah, it's you can see he's in two minds. That is not an attribute in Kyle Jacobs' wheelhouse, hitting a 25-yard shot.
No. All goes forward for Donnelly, won by Edinburgh. And handling's alert to it. He's fizzed it out. He's put too much on it though, and it's the third time I think Alloa have been gifted a throw-in without really putting any pressure on the opponent.
Is that a crane on the far side too? That is, they were thinking it was their throw.
It's interesting that Mark Durnan's, will have another week with no minutes. It's Andy Graham that's favoured to come on and see this game out. We know that Graham's played a lot more football than Durnan, but since becoming the Alloa Player of the Year, not much football, albeit
and
been
captain
away.
as well.
Yeah, and captain.
It's just he's had a very unlucky season. I mean, obviously his day job, he's changed that. He's had to go through training, but he was injured even before that.
Goes in favour of FC Edinburgh. Robertson was adamant that it was an Alloa ball. Salmon chases it down, nearly pounces on a mistake there from Fontaine. Fontaine does just about enough to recover from it, and Edinburgh will come forward. Salmon he's still alert, he's still pressing, moving up to the same success as he was in the first half. But it's been a different half to the first half in all aspects, to be honest. Cragen looking for options. Frustrated at the lack of. McKeever will chase down the goalkeeper. Oh, and Jacobs' pass just about gets through, but O'Donnell's alert to it. Finds McKeever, gets it back off of McKeever, delivers into the box. It's behind Salmon, but it's to Luke Donnelly. Takes a touch. Good defending from McIntyre, blocks the effort.
I feel like that deserved more. It was excellent anticipation from O'Donnell. Just Alloa, can he find the way through?
Couple of breaks of the ball for Edinburgh. Now they're coming forward, but Stanger steps out, takes control of the situation, and
it's just these phases of plays. How ragged the game has just suddenly gotten. I'd like to see us just calm things down a bit more.
Yeah, 86 minutes has just ticked over on the clock. And like you say, it's a bit of a hot potato at more times. Crane delivers. Graham gets his first touch. Fontaine. Taggart should be able to intercept that, does so. Will hold his position though and let someone else do the press. Salmon's still putting a power of work in, but Edinburgh just about of moving it around them. McKeever in space in the middle of the park. Superb from McKeever, spreads the play, will get it back off of Taggart. He's got the corner flag as an option, he's got options in the middle as well. I think I know where he's going. Or maybe not.
That's a foul, ref. He stood on it.
Like
This will be contentious if this goes. Brilliant foot in.
Kind of
We just
looked
need to slow it down until we get back in.
Then it looked like McKeever was caught in between two minds there, whether to whip it in or drive inside. It never looked like he was aiming for the corner flag. And it's OZC. Can Edinburgh find a yard of space, and Crane has sliced it wide.
Defender's finish, isn't it?
Substitution, Callum Tapping. Another ex-Wasp coming on. He'll replace Kyle Jacobs in the middle of the park. And it's one of these substitutions, and it might come back to bite us, but it's one of these ones that probably don't make if they had other options on the bench. It's not really someone you come on just you're looking for a goal.
Just thrown on fresh legs, just because that's the only options you've got. Still just 2 minutes of normal time remaining.
FC Edinburgh substitution in the 88th minute of the match. Leaving the field of play number
Salmon in the battle with Fontaine. Fontaine gets the better of him there. Andy Graham rises to beat Robertson. McKeever looks to head it forward. It was actually not a bad header, but dealt with by Edinburgh. Out for an Alloa throw in, of which you can expect there will be no rush for it. OZC will fulfil role of ball boy. Well, like Hogarth was wanting to get the game sped up as well.
Just trying to stop Taggart getting a booking, I feel like.
There's only so much time wasting you can do, because he will just add it on, so it's just how much you can kill the game. Yeah. Tapping had a big handful of Salmon's shirt, but
great footwork.
Donnelly,
unbelievable
excellent.
use of your body to hold it up.
What do you do when you're up against a body like that? He's just so tall and awkward to deal with.
I mean, you're saying that, we did try to take it to the corner against Queen of the South at the end, and it was quite funny because McKeever and Salmon could not emulate what Donnelly does. Here he is again in the corner.
Good
easy
feet.
Option out.
Taggart whips it in. It's too far though for O'Donnell. Strachan will chase it forward, looking to put the pressure on Murray. He'll just see that one out for a throw in. Allow Strachan to drop back into position. 89.5 on the clock. Probably be another couple of minutes added on top of that. But Salmon's alert to it. He's not quite got the eyes for the hat trick. He goes back.
Yeah, back to the corner.
This is good though from Alloa. Can they carve open an opportunity for the
Maybe
third?
the wrong man to have released in Robertson, or the silky skill that some of the other Alloa players are.
And we are into stoppage time now. Andy Graham wins his header. That is Tapping, the substitute, that sweeps up the loose ball, and we're really at last chance saloon for Edinburgh. Looking to seek one more opportunity. Ball comes in. OZC's header's an awkward one. McKeever gets a foot to it. Crane will keep it alive. Tapping back into Fontaine. Pretty much everybody camped on the edge of the Alloa box. It is going to be floated in. Can Alloa deal with it? Graham puts his head on the line. McKeever helps it on its way. And between the two of them, Alloa win possession, and Taggart will run at the defender, and he's done excellently well. Knocked it off the shin, won the team the throw in.
We'll burn another 20 seconds here as well.
91 minutes on the clock. Take his time with it, like you say. 15-20 seconds bought with that throw in. Goes forward to Salmon, flicks it on, but it's only Fontaine in behind to sweep it clear, and you can imagine that the visitors might be able to have one more chance to get something from this game. Goes back to Robbie Much, and that last chance will have to come very quickly. Launched forward, Stanger wins it. Tapping, just sitting in that hole there. No pressure. Cross will come in. It's kitchen sink time for Edinburgh. Just about cleared. Salmon's got to be strong. He is strong. McKeever anywhere will do. Takes the touch. Thought he might have released Donnelly. He's not getting a foul for that.
He's getting a throw though. Well, there's
No.
a discussion between the two.
Yeah, he's got to slot back in because now we're talking about last chance saloon. Alloa got to stand firm for 30 more seconds or so. Switched out to the left hand side. Crane's got acres of space. He's going to put it in the box. It's a good fake shot. Ball comes in, headed clear by McKeever. The referee still doesn't take to his whistle. 92 and a half on the clock.
That
McKeever
ball's away.
battling well, and it will be a throw in for Alloa. And that might just be enough to see this game out. Taggart will send it down the line. 3 minutes of additional time played. A smile from Brian Rice. The job might just be done. The referee blows for full time. Alloa take all 3 points. They've beaten the team from the capital for the first time this season. Connor Salmon's brace goals, 12 and 13 from the season are the difference. John Robertson's strike just after half time made it interesting, but Alloa hold on to win 2-1 and move up to 4th position in the table on 35 points, just 3 points now behind Edinburgh and Falkirk in 2nd and 3rd. All in all, you couldn't have asked for much better.
Yeah, and finally we've managed to hold on to win against FC Edinburgh. It's great to get a win because it's been a bogey team for us. And you had another fear after that goal went in that things would go according to the script apparently, but things worked out for us.
Yeah, it's the continued tale of the left-hand side as Luke Strachan and Daniel Church add to their assist tally. It's definitely added a completely different element to this Alloa team, and Connor Salmon continues his goal-scoring form from last week. 3 in the last 2 as well, so it's all good for Alloa. The only slight downside would be the Stefan Skugel injury just after half-time. We'll see how serious that one